Hi everyone, thanks a lot for joining us today. I am Catalina and I'm marketing manager here at Trust You. This month's live streams are focused on travel data and how hoteliers can use it to make informed decisions. And specifically today, we'll be discussing the state of EMEA travel in 2021. And we'll be looking at the defining trends for the region and what hoteliers can expect in 2022. Each year, we at Trust You publish the Review Insights reports. We combine our own proprietary data with third-party research to offer hoteliers a full perspective of travel and hospitality on a yearly basis. We have reports that focus on the global data and regional reports for APAC, EMEA, US, and DACH. You can check our LinkedIn page and our website if you want to access them for free. But today we'll be discussing about the EMEA and DACH Review Insights reports. And to help me navigate through all the data and offer the most valuable insights, we invited today our EMEA VP of Sales and Operations, Manuela Erlemann. Hi, Manuela. Thanks a lot for joining us today.
Hi, Catalina. Nice to e-meeting you here and all the other ones. Happy to be here and to talk a little bit more about our findings.
Yeah, and before we jump straight into our conversation, if you have questions or just thoughts, you can leave them in our comment section at the right of our live stream, and we'll make sure to have a look at them at the end of the session. So, Manuela, tell us more about yourself and your role at Trust You.
Yes, for sure. Happy to do this. I've been working for Trust You now for 5 years and overseeing the sales and operations in the EMEA region. I have a typical hotel background and working for both individual and hotel chains, mainly focused in rooms division and e-commerce. And around about 10 years ago, I decided to change the sites and started working for HRS, a German online travel agency and a key account management department. So overall, I have more than 20 years of experience in the field of hospitality, growing teams and results, and of course, improving customer experience and loyalty for European hotels. Privately, of course, in combination with my love for our industry, I like to travel, exploring new countries, cultures, and people.
So you have spent more than 20 years in the industry and you saw it from different angles, from the hotelier's angle, from the OTA's angle, from the hospitality tech angle. Do you think is there anything that defines the way hospitality is done in the EMEA region?
Mm, Actually, yes. However, I don't want to go into specifics about EMEA, as I have observed a general trend. What I noticed during the last 2.5 years, of course, driven by the corona situation, is a shift in society and values have changed, meaning that people, their needs, relationships have become more important again. And it doesn't matter whether in the private sphere or in a professional environment, as a team member or customer. And now, sure, in our industry, we continue to talk about important issues such cost savings, lack of human resources,
Mhm.
tech stack, power of data, automatization of processes, and so on. Also about new trends that are emerging as sustainability, healthy, and well-being. However, the approach has changed, meaning we see, or not only me, we see a clear customer-centric approach, putting people and their needs first, and everything else, especially talking about our industry, solutions second. And don't get me wrong, technology supports and accelerates everything behind. However, people, the human touch comes first. This is what I observed during the last 2.5 years, 2.5 years.
Yeah, it's kind of having that human touch to everything related to technology, and sometimes you can lose it while implementing technology. Each year, we publish two EMEA Regional Insights reports. Our general report focuses on the data from the entire region, and we have a second one, which is the DACH report. It's very specific and offers insights into the German, Austrian, and Swiss travel markets. The DACH report is also available in German only. Why this very narrow approach for the DACH region?
Good question, Catalina, and really simple answer. Trustio is a German-based company. And over the last 14 years since we've been founded, we have built a strong network of customers and partnerships across the DACH region. And many of the trends we saw in this report, especially in this sub-region, reflect the EMEA data as well. But there are also some insights that are super specific only to the DACH region as a result of the shared cultural and lifestyle values of these three countries. And of course, as a feedback company, we found it very interesting and wanted to share our findings and the insights behind.
And I think that with all this data, we want to empower our customers and support them with relevant insights in the decision-making process. And we believe that Trustio has never been more important, and that data is one of the pillars of trust. And before we explore the EMEA data, let's check this video that summarizes what Trustio stands for in the world of hospitality tech. This video is all about our fresh look and feel for the new era of travel. If you want to discover more about how we help hoteliers prevent negative feedback, solve issues on the go, and open instant communication channels with their guests, feel free to contact us at info@trustio.com. But now let's get back to EMEA travel in 2021. How do you think it evolved compared to 2020?
Thanks, Catalina, for this question. At first, great video. I really love our new brand refresh video. Related to the question, right? EMEA was the leader of the recovery in 2021. It registered the most international tourist arrivals, more than 75% of the number of the global arrivals last year. And EMEA was not only the leader in terms of arrivals, but it was also, what I found super interesting, was the largest tourism contributor to the GDP, the gross domestic product. And at a global level for 2021, tourism accounted on average 2% of GDP, while EMEA's average was at 2.2%. And within EMEA, Europe had the largest contribution at 2.6%.
And what do you think that actually helped EMEA being the leader of a recovery race in 2021?
There are several reasons that made EMEA more attractive for both domestic and international visitors. Firstly, and I think it's the main important one, EMEA had the highest vaccination rate at a global level. People felt more comfortable traveling once they got their shoots, and plus vaccination was a mandatory entry requirement for many countries alongside testing and confirmation of having had COVID-19. Secondly, a trend we saw worldwide was also specific for EMEA, but at a different scale. So domestic travel was super popular, including the rise of secondary destinations. Just to name an example, for Germany, Frankfurt was one of the winning destinations in 2021. And in general, it has surpassed the pre-pandemic level since summer last year. And whereby, if we talk about Middle East, we saw a record growth of inbound tourists for the entire decade, meaning from 2011 to 2021. And finally, what's also super specific for the EU is the rise of intra-regional travel, which means that EU residents felt more comfortable visiting other member countries as a result of a similar COVID-19 policy, proximity, and ease of traveling.
So if we're going to summarize for our audience, we have the highest vaccination rate, we have domestic travel, and the rise of intra-regional travel that contributed to a very strong recovery for the EMEA region in 2021. And moving forward, what do you think was the main challenge for the EMEA hoteliers in 2021?
Good questions. There are a lot. Actually, we should extend this audience, right, and having more hoteliers. From our point of view, the most pressing challenges came as a result of the pandemic, of course. So every new variant brought a certain level of uncertainty as it came often with changing travel restriction. And as a result of these confusions, travelers were not as eager to visit certain destinations, which affected the number of guests hoteliers could have accommodated last year. And even if EMEA was the leader in the recovery race, the travel hasn't surpassed the pre-pandemic levels, we need to say as well.
And what about this year? Do you think EMEA will continue the trend of recovery? And of course, we're speaking about the ongoing Russian-Ukrainian conflict, how much it will affect travel in the region.
This is really also a super good question. Actually, we expected in 2022, we had the hope of accelerated recovery, right? And this conflict is a shock for everyone. And sure, it brings another level of uncertainty to the region and especially to the countries near Ukraine. What our data say, what we found is in the first weeks of this horrible conflict, we saw panic and a lot of negative predictions in terms of how much people will travel to Europe, or even if they will be willing to consider Europe as a travel destination. This was in the first weeks of the war. But by the end of Q1, quarter one, we looked at our own and third-party data, and both confirmed an accelerated recovery. In general, people love to travel, right? And I think we will see continuing grow and willing to travel.
Yeah, let's hope it stays the same way, because these are very promising numbers, and it's really good to see that travel continues to recover.
Yes, Catalina, this is, and I guess everyone will agree on this. This is just a confirmation that travel and hospitality are acting as pillars of peace. And after 2 years of uncertainty and restrictions, people are really looking for normality, comfort, and great experience when on a trip. Travel and hospitality can bring that. And it has brought more than that. It brought a lot of help for refugees fleeing Ukraine. And if you have a look, right, at our industry, hoteliers, restaurants, and accommodation units all across Europe have offered their services to help people slowly restart their lives. There are a lot of amazing initiatives around, and yeah, it's really, I got goosebumps whenever I have a look or when I contribute by myself to these initiatives.
Yeah, for sure. It was impressive to see the support and kindness that the industry has shown for this situation. And we'll cover more data for the first quarter in our freshly released Pulse of the Industry report, where we have a quick glance at the state of travel at the global and regional level for each quarter. You can check our white paper sections if you want to download for free the report. But now let's get back to 2021 data. Each year, the Review Insights reports include a section that features the top impact scores, the top three. For our audience, the impact scores are a series of categories such as service, location, housekeeping, and how much they influenced hotel performance. So what were the three main positive impact scores for the EMEA region, those that are more likely to improve the performance score of a hotel?
Good question, of course, and I think everyone is excited who was not yet able to read the report. The top three positive scores for EMEA have slightly changed since the pandemic. So number one is service. This is still top in 2021. It was also in 2019, and it remains the most impactful category for a hotel's performance. And this highlights the emphasis EMEA travelers put on the way they are treated by the staff. Secondly, hotel. It's the next one, and this was also, as a hotel was also in the top three before COVID-19 and is now perceived more than ever as a source of comfort, security, and relaxation. And a newcomer, surprisingly, a newcomer at the top is management. And this proves that implementing best practices within the internal team, and we come back to the human touch again, right? So implementing best practices with the teams on property, this will also positively influence the communication with guests and ultimately the hotel's reputation.
And what about the top three negative impact scores?
Okay, here there are no surprises. The top three negatives are the same as before the pandemic, and all of them are related to cleanliness and maintenance. The first in the top three is room maintenance, second, bathroom, and the third one, room cleanliness. Compared to 2019, of course, guests are paying even more attention to cleanliness and health and safety. And therefore, they are all more inclined to leave a negative review if these standards are not met.
And if we're speaking about DACH travel in a nutshell, how did it look in 2021?
In general, the DACH region went in line with the EMEA trends. Going a little bit more to details on country level, Austria experienced the highest recovery rate, with overnight stays being at 84% of 2019 levels. And the share of tourism is, or the share related to the GDP is 5.5%. Germany experienced the highest growth in domestic travel. About half of vacation trips were taken by Germans, and happening inbound. And traveling within the DACH region was also super popular, as we mentioned before, right? So as an example, the most international visits to Switzerland came from the Germans.
Ooh.
Yes, really interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of a domestic travel inside a smaller region in Europe, basically.
But I need to say Switzerland is a wonderful, fantastic country, and I really recommend visiting Switzerland. Not only, but really it's...
Yeah, we'll take a note on that and put on our bucket list for sure. And looking back at all this data for 2021, what do hoteliers need to focus on in 2022 to get and retain more guests?
Generally, coming back to what I said before, right at the beginning, people first, customer-centric approach. It's still, and it's still critical to continue listening to the guests' feedback and making sure that their issues are addressed as quickly as possible during their stay. COVID-19 has accelerated the need for contactless solutions. So now guests are more inclined to leave their suggestions or complaints via a messaging app rather than going directly to the reception, right? And contactless solution not only allow hoteliers to gather more feedback, but also to fix issues on the go. And of course, at TrustYou, we use the time as well. We have developed a solution that allows our customers to communicate instantly with the guests. It's called live experience, right? And this solution is proved to be of a great advantage. So hotel chains and non-branded hotels using it, they are reporting a decrease in negative reviews which guests leave with the post-stay reviews.
Yeah, we actually have a video on how live experience can prevent negative feedback, so let's check it out.
While many hoteliers focus on what happens behind the scenes and the quality of the hotel product, only a few give sufficient and focused consideration to the guest experience. Do you want to find out what's really going on in your hotel? Introducing Trust You Live Experience. With this solution you can personalize your guest's experience, manage service recovery, increase guest satisfaction, and collect more positive reviews. The best way to listen to your guests' needs? Asking them. Let's see how it works. Step 1. Encourage your guests to give feedback by distributing a QR code or a URL link. Step 2. Identify the issue by enabling the seamless flow of communications between your guests and staff. Step 3. Act on feedback by taking action on the spot and maintaining conversations with your guests. Step 4. Resolve the issue and report back to your guest in real time. There, the detractor is quickly turned into the promoter. The guest leaves your hotel satisfied, and a negative public review is prevented. Let real-time feedback pave the way. Then you will see improved operations, better satisfaction scores, and more revenue. Partner with Trust You today.
If you're interested in our live experience solutions, you can feel free to get in touch with your account manager or just contact us at info@trustyou.com. And with this, we're almost at the end of our live stream. But before we look at the comments and questions our viewers have, one last thought, Manuela, that you would like to share with our audience.
Okay, well, time goes by so fast. Thanks for asking and giving me the chance. Nowadays, keeping the balance between technology and the human touch while creating unforgettable experiences for guests seems to be challenging sometimes, right? If you consider all the other challenges hotels are facing today. Usage of data and technology has proven to be a safe way to move forward and focus on what matters most, the human connection. So hospitality is all about emotion. And yeah, I think we shouldn't forget this.
That's a very nice way of wrapping this up. Thanks so much for sharing your thoughts and valuable experience, Manuela. And now, if you have questions for Manuela, feel free to share them in our comment section or just your thoughts. I'll be checking now to see if we have something here. I think we have a comment from, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing the name correctly. It's from Ashik. So hi, everybody. Hope you are doing well. Myself, Ashik Hussein, working in Lamar Holidays KSA as a luxury tourism and hospitality advisor publicist. Thanks a lot for joining us, Ashik. Really appreciate it. Okay, and let's see. Well, so far, as far as I can see, there are no questions, but you can still put them in the comment section. It won't disappear after the live stream, and then we can see and reply to them after this session ends. And now, thanks everyone for joining us today in this conversation about the state of travel in the EMEA in 2021. And with us today was Manuela Erlemann, which is our VP of Sales and Operations EMEA, who shared with us insights from our EMEA and DACH Regional Review Insights report. And if you are looking for more data on the travel and hospitality industry, make sure to follow us on LinkedIn. You can find us as Trust You, or just check our website, trustyou.com. Here you can find the freshly released Pulse of the Industry report, where we have a look at how the first quarter of 2022 performed. What's coming next in our series of live streams? We'll have a dedicated session to the travel and hospitality evolution in the APAC region for 2021. Our guest will be Alex Tan, which is the APAC VP of Sales and Operations here at TrustYou. He will guide us through the most relevant data for hoteliers that we have featured in our annual APAC Review Insights report. You can check the event on our LinkedIn page. It will happen next week on June 2nd. So we're really hoping that we'll see you next week as well. If you have any questions for Manuela or our team, feel free to contact us at info@trustyou.com, and we'll be happy to reply to your thoughts. That was all. It was a real pleasure. Thanks so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.